The Beatles were the most successful rock band that started about 60 years ago in Liverpool during 1957, then ended during 1970. John Lennon was the first to leave out of them four on April 10th.
All the Beatles' names were John Lennon, Ringo Starr, Paul McCartney, and George Harrison. The Beatles were important because they were responsible for the mid-1960s musical British invasion to the USA. This means that the Beatles were groups whose popularity spread rapidly to the United States.
A historical meaning that people can learn from the Beatles is how they first started their band and how they started selling records and albums worldwide. Some important findings that we can learn is the amount of records they have sold and billions of fans they have had.
The Beatles are the most iconic and successful band in history. In 1966, John Lennon famously said, "Christianity will go. It will vanish and shrink. I needn't argue with that. I'm right and will be proved right. We're more popular than Jesus now."
Television is more popular than Jesus. I might have got away with it.
This is Doug Layton and Tommy Charles reminding you that our fantastic Beatle boycott is still in effect. Don't you forget what the Beatles have said.
Well, I'm not saying that we're better or greater or comparing us with Jesus Christ as a person or God as a thing or whatever it is. You know, I just said what I said and it was wrong or was taken wrong, and now it's all this.
The disc jockey, Tommy Charles, who started this row off, has said that he won't play your records until you've grown up a little. How do you feel about that?
Well, I don't mind if he never plays them again.
This is a video that we used for our evidence when John Lennon apologized after he said, "We're more popular than Jesus now." We use this because it gives proof that John Lennon did say he was more famous than Jesus. We also use this video to show him personally apologizing and showing others people's thoughts, including their arguments and posters, to prove he said something a lot of people and fans thought was offensive and lost a lot of fans because of it, and to prove he didn't actually think of music, celebrities, etc. are more popular than Jesus. A foolish and controversial statement in the American public reply with public Beatle record burnings, but after the chaos and media frenzy simmered, this event proved that rock stars in America can say and do almost anything they want.
The Beatles also wrote 237 different songs, and they played a number of influential gigs on tour. This made them very popular. The Beatles completed at least 4 nationwide tours in 1963 and performed at a great many single shows around the UK throughout the year. They also say the Beatles pretty much invented the idea of the creative artist. The Creative Artists Agency, LLC, or CAA, is an American talent sports agency based in Los Angeles, California.
The Beatles sold over 400 million records worldwide, and they have 6.5 billion fans, so they were important to a lot of people. Even though they have broken up and died, we still have a lot of music to enjoy. John Lennon was murdered on the evening of December 8, 1980, and was fatally shot in the Archway of Dakota, his residence in New York City. Perpetrator was Mark David Chapman, a recently unemployed resident of Hawaii. Chapman stated that he was incensed by Lennon's lifestyle and public statements, especially his much publicized remark about the Beatles being more popular than Jesus, and the lyrics of his later songs God and Imagine. Chapman also said he was inspired by the fictional character Holden Caulfield from J.D. Salinger's novel The Catcher in the Rye. Comments generated little response in Britain, but after the U.S. teen magazine Datebook reprinted the quote out of context months later, the controversy boiled over. Alabama disc jockeys Doug Layton and Tommy Charles of WAQY initiated a Beatle boycott, urging people to take their Beatles records and paraphernalia to designated places to burn them. Beatles and Lennon in particular were momentarily the devil incarnate to the Bible Belt and beyond, just as they were about to begin a U.S. tour. Also apologized so he can win his fans back and get past their hatred against his statement, and make his fans love him again like before. Ever since then, people still don't like the Beatles because of John Lennon's statement, but they are still very popular for making really good music for other people to enjoy all around the world. In conclusion, the Beatles were a very successful rock band. They had many fights with each other, but still managed to be great friends and made great music.